Hey guys, welcome back. So now that we have our thumbnails table created, what we're going to do is move forward and write the code which will actually generate the thumbnails for us. Okay, so let's make a start on that. Let's go back to our video process.php and just scroll down. Let's go to the bottom and we'll do it underneath this delete file function. Okay, let's say public function. It's going to be generate thumbnails like that. So generate thumbnails function, and it's going to take one parameter, and this will be the file path, so the path to the uploaded video we have. So in here is obviously where the code's going to go to generate our thumbnails for us. So let's make a start. In here, let's say thumbnail size, like that. And this will be the size of the thumbnail we want to create, so the size of the image it's going to output. And YouTube uses 210 by 118. This is the YouTube thumbnail size at the time of me recording this, obviously. So I'm going to use that. So this is the exact same one that thumbnail uses, 210 by 118. So feel free to use that. We don't want to use super high quality thumbnails because it will take up a lot of space, and these are going to be very small images anyway, so it's not too important. Let's then say num thumbnails, and it's going to be the number of thumbnails we want to generate. And like I said before, we want to do 3 thumbnails, so let's set that to 3. Each video is going to have 3 different thumbnails, and the user will be able to choose which one they want to use. Then we want to do the path to the thumbnail, so path to thumbnail equals, and what this is the path to the image. So if I go back to here, we're going to go to uploads, videos, and inside the videos folder we're going to create a new folder called thumbnails, like that, and this is where the images are going to be stored. So all I've done is create a thumbnails folder inside of the uploads videos folder. Okay, so then this path to thumbnail can just be uploads / videos / thumbnails, and did notice I used an uppercase O there, so I'll just change that to a lowercase o. Path to thumbnail, and then uploads videos thumbnails. So what's next? Because we're generating 3 thumbnails here, what we're going to do is space it out at 3 different points in the video. So what we're going to do is take the duration of the video and split that up at evenly spaced intervals depending on how many thumbnails we want to generate. But we don't yet have the duration of the video. So what we need to do is call a script which will get us the duration. You might think there'd be some built-in function to get the duration, but it's not. The best way to get the duration is to use the script. And you'll notice when we downloaded the ffmpeg script, there was also a file called ffprobe. Now let me show you that one. So if I go to ffmpeg, and I've made some changes since last time because people might be downloading this folder, I've split the scripts up into 3 separate folders so that when you download the course content, you'll know which one to use based on whatever you're running. But anyway, you will have it in ffmpeg, in the bin folder, and then you have these 2. So we use the ffmpeg for converting videos, and we need to use the ffprobe for getting the duration. So ffprobe, this is what we want to run. So what we're going to do is say duration equals this arrow get video duration, and we're going to pass in the file path here, so file path, and we haven't actually wrote this function yet, but let's do that now. So underneath there, we're going to say private function get video duration, like that. And this is just me one line, okay? We're going to say return shell underscore exec. I'll explain this in just a sec. And then this is going to be the script in there. Now, shell exec right here is just a way of executing a script. It's exactly the same as how we did it over here. We use exec here. The only difference is shell exec returns the output of the command you're given, and there's no error code or no error messages. So that's just a difference. This just returns the output. So we're going to use shell exec here. You can use exec, but you have to do all this and you make use of the error codes as well. So if it's not working, maybe switch to that, but we're going to use shell exec. And we're not actually going to write this function ourselves. We're going to go and get it from online. So if I go back to web browser and type in ffprobe duration, so just go to Google, type in ffprobe duration, and scroll down, you should see a site right here, this track.ffmpeg.org with the ffprobe tips. So click on that, ffprobe tips. And what I'm going to do is on the right here, there's this format container duration. So I've clicked on that and it's taken me down to here. And all we're going to do is copy this script right here. So I'm copying that, and we're going to use it exactly the same as that, but just replace some values. So go back to our code and paste that in there. So the first thing we're going to change is the path to the ffprobe file. Let's go and create a variable at the top for that. We have these ffmpeg path variables that we created before. And like I said, I've made some slight changes here than what you have. I've just made it so that if you download these course contents, you can just comment out one of these variables depending on which machine you're using. So if you're using a Windows machine, you can comment that out and uncomment this one and use that. But I'm not on a Windows machine, so I'll keep this one. So yours looks slightly different. You will only have one path here, but this is just there for the purpose of people that download the course content. So what I'm going to do is do the same thing again. So we want to say private ffprobe path like that, and for you it's probably going to be ffmpeg/bin/ffprobe like that. Okay, if you're using a Windows machine, it might be ffprobe.exe. It probably will, but I'm on a Mac and it's not going to be that. It's just going to be ffprobe. Okay, so this is what yours look like. But like I said, I've made some slight changes for the benefit of people who download the course content. I've split it up into 3 separate files. So what I'm going to do is just update mine, but yours will probably stay the same as this, okay? So I'll just make a change. Mine's actually this one. Okay, I'm going to paste that over there. And it's not ffmpeg. I'll make sure I change that to ffprobe like that. So this is our ffprobe path. And I also want to take the time to remind you that if you're using a Windows machine, you need to use an absolute path here instead of a relative path like we're using in the video. So just like we did with the ffmpeg, you just declare an empty variable like this, and then in here, in the constructor, you just set your FFO path like this. So we're using the real path, which creates a absolute path from a relative path, and all you need to do is just put your relative path in here. But if you're using a Windows machine, you should have done the same in here for the ffmpeg path, so just copy that, okay? But just make sure you update your path in here to your ffprobe.exe. Like I said before, I'm using a Mac, so I won't do this, so I will actually revert this to the way it was before, like this. So this is how I will use it in the video, but just know if you're using a Windows machine, you should do it the way I just shown you. And I'll come back after I've finished recording and split these up into different operating systems just for people who need it later on, but for now, this is okay, alright? So ffprobe path, I'm going to scroll down now. I'm going to replace this ffprobe part with this arrow ffprobe path, like that. Okay. So I'm going to scroll across to the rest of the code. So this is fine, this is fine, this is fine. That's okay. And the only thing we need to change is this input.mp4. This is the file you want to input. And all we need to do is use this file path variable, which we haven't passed in yet. So in the get video duration, we're going to make sure we add this file path variable right there. And then all we need to do is put it at the end right here, and that should be it. That should now give us a duration of the video. So I'm gonna scroll up to here, and now I'm just gonna echo duration as well. Echo like this, duration equals, and then duration like that. So just so we can see it works, I'm gonna go and upload another video and make sure we see the duration of the video uploaded. So I'm gonna go back to VideoTube. And actually, I just realized we haven't actually called the function yet. So before we upload a video to test it out, we need to make sure we actually call this generate thumbnails function. So scroll up to, where is it? This upload function, which I think is at the top, yeah, here. So here in the upload function, okay, we're gonna go down to here and copy and paste another one of these if statements like that. This isn't gonna be delete file, it's gonna be generate thumbnails like that. So we don't want to pass in this temp file path, we're gonna pass in this final file path variable over here. So copy that, pass that into there. So generate thumbnails with the final file path. And we can keep this upload failed, but if you want, we can just say could not generate thumbnails like that, or something like that, okay? So now we've called the function, what I'm gonna do is go back and actually upload a video, and hopefully we will see the duration echoed out now. So I'm gonna go choose my file, same one we've been using so far, some title, some description, and click upload. And hopefully when this is done, we will see the duration. Okay, so we see our error message about could not generate thumbnails, but that's okay. It's because we didn't actually return true or false, so it assumes it failed. But the main thing is we do see the duration right here. So this is saying the duration is 8.875 seconds. And if I go back to here and take a look at the file, you'll see that it is just over 8 seconds. So that's right. So we know the duration works. Great, we've executed the script. And we have the duration now. What we can do now is use this duration to split the video up and generate thumbnails at certain intervals.